What is an allow list? What is a block list? How can they keep me safe? Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. I'm Nick and this is Super Simple Security Principles. Listen each week and learn how to protect yourself online, no matter your skill level. All right, Makani. This is episode number 40. Website and email filtering. We're going to stick to it. It is part one of a 3-part series. Is that correct?
We'll hope. I know you called me on this before we started recording, that mine always expands, so we won't promise 3, but it's definitely part 1.
All right. And since it's part 1, my first question is, are these Makani's words? These words that you made up?
I do like to make up words. I do like to add new, things. I've definitely had some of those, but no, in this case, they're not Makaniisms. These are, yeah. I mean, they might be computer geekisms. You might think of them as whatever, but they are not created by me.
All right, fair enough. That's what I did want to know that. So awesome. So where should we start? Where do you want to start?
So a little introduction on what they are.
Okay.
I consider them essential tools that they give you, well, they're used for a lot of things, but they give you control over, for example, what kinds of content you're exposed to online, but they can also add a powerful layer of security across many areas.
Nice.
And in the series, we're going to focus on, so the reason why I title websites and email is because the idea anyway is, and we'll see again if it goes to more than two, is we'll do this introduction episode where we teach about what an allow list and a block list is, but then we'll talk about how to use them to do website filtering and how to use them to do not Wi-Fi, email filtering. I was looking at my notes and
Nice.
reminded that you can use them for a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
Like limiting what devices connect to your home Wi-Fi, specifying which apps can be used on a device, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But so here's at a very high level what they do. They both serve essentially the same purpose. They serve as filters, but they approach it differently. The allow list has other names that might be more familiar. Safe list, or probably the most commonly and long time known as a whitelist. And the other is, a block list, but also known as a blacklist.
Okay.
Um,
List, whitelist, block list, blacklist.
yeah, and they can work together, like as complementary filters, where you kind of balance strictness with the allow list with broad protection on the block list side, because they're really kind of two sides of the same coin. We're going to dive into that more, but that's just a kind of high level introduction of their roles. And for today's episode, we're going to talk, actually, we'll start with website filtering, just as kind of, we won't get into all the details of implementation and the specifics. We're going to use that in the next episode. But for this one, we'll just kind of give you an idea, website filtering as an example. So just give you kind of some meat to talk about of how the allow lists and block lists work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You there with me? You hear me okay?
I lost audio, sorry.
Okay. You back now?
I am, yeah.
Okay, good. That's okay. So I don't know what you missed, but where we're at now is,
where are we at now? Right.
Right. So kind of gave an introduction. That's okay. I know we had an internet hiccup and it just happens. So kind of gave an introduction about allow lists and block lists. So
Yep.
now I want to talk about what an allow list is, basically.
Perfect. Perfect.
So it's a filter. They're both filters. An allow list and block list are both filters, but the allow
Okay.
list works by only allowing things that are specifically approved. If something isn't on that list, it's rejected. I also
Okay.
like to think of it as guilty until proven innocent.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It makes sense.
And an allow list, one of the ideal cases for it is when the number of things that you want to allow is much smaller than the number of things you want to block.
Right. I would imagine an allow list works great for like kids, right?
Yeah, that's actually one of my two examples. Yep, you called it. Kids, especially younger kids, right? When they're first getting started on the internet, you could give them just a small set of websites they can visit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. The other real common case for allow list website filtering is in a corporate environment at work, where
Gotcha.
employees, they only need a very limited set of websites to accomplish their tasks, right?
Right. Yep.
And the nice thing with it is, I mean, obviously, it minimizes distractions, but even more importantly, at least, well, in my mind, is it provides some security against phishing and malware as well when you have just a very limited set of trusted websites.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So if I were going to sum up the strength of an allow list in one word, it would be strictness. Because with an allow list, you can guarantee that nothing unexpected gets past this layer of your defenses. So you can focus on other important layers. It's ideal for high security or
Right.
distraction-free environment needs.
Makes sense.
Okay. Then a block list is sort of the opposite of an allow list, right? It only rejects
Right.
things that are on the list or innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And it's ideal when, it's ideal for like filtering when an allow list is impractical due to the number of things that you need to filter.
Right.
Which in most situations, other than the ones like we just described, is going to be the case with websites, right? There's obviously a ton of websites out there, and there's
Right.
new ones created every day. And the way this works normally is by using huge pre-built block lists. Like you don't have to go out and pick all the websites that you want blocked. There's lots and lots of companies that have already done this, and
Gotcha.
they put them into categories. And so then you can pick the categories of websites that you want to block.
Mm-hmm.
There's, and they, like, for example, there's malicious websites, which everybody but maybe security researchers are going to want to block.
Right.
There's advertising, social media, pornography. These are all kind of common categories that are tagged that you might want to block.
Yeah.
And so this is where the real strength of blocklist shines, because with just a little bit of effort, you can filter out a huge range of unwanted content. Now, one of the downsides is you're using somebody else's list, so you don't know exactly what's on it. May not be exactly what you want. Sometimes things will be blocked that you wanted to have allowed, or allowed that you wanted blocked. You might argue, might disagree with their categorization. Usually they have
Right.
a way you can give feedback on if something's miscategorized as well.
Right.
And from a security perspective, though, this is kind of the biggest weakness as well compared to an allow list, because sometimes things are going to get past this layer of defense.
Right.
For websites, you might end up accidentally at a website that you wish had been blocked. So my one word, with allow list, it's strictness. My one word summary for block list would be efficiency. You get some great
Okay.
protection for pretty little effort.
Yeah.
So that's honestly, that's kind of the introduction. If those make sense to you, then I'm ready for our call to action. But I wanted to check in with you. It's pretty, it's a short one. I
I
just
was
didn't
going to
want to
say
try
this
to
is a short
smash too much
episode.
into the others because the others are going to be pretty, heavy. And so wanted to split this out. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it set in, like I definitely understand what an allow list is, and where to use it, especially for me, now obviously like I don't own a huge corporate business, so I don't need to worry about an allow list for employees or things like that. But for my kids, I have a wide range of, you know, ages. So for me, absolutely, there's ages for an allow list, and then also there's ages for a block list, and yeah, so I can
Well,
absolutely.
yeah. Well, and keep in mind too. So we talked about websites here,
Right.
but there's also, I'll give you another example. On the devices. So, like your home Wi-Fi, for example. One thing that I don't actually have on mine currently, I don't think, but I have had it at times. And I want to actually, I need to put that back on. But anyway, is device filtering, so that if a new device tries to connect to your Wi-Fi, like I use an allow list with devices
Oh, that's
on
cool.
on my
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, right? Now,
Yeah.
because I want to make sure it. Anyway, I want really
D-
strict control of that. You know,
Makes perfect sense.
I don't want anybody piggybacking on my Wi-Fi without me knowing about it if they manage to get my password or whatever.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That
So,
makes total sense.
and it's not that hard to implement. I mean, it takes a little. It's not hard. It's a little bit of inconvenience, right?
Right. Right.
So, and that's a trade off, whatever you can make anyway. But that's just another example. Because I don't want to leave you with just thinking about the website, right?
Right.
Because there are so many other applications. But
Perfect.
so I'll just give you the preview in parts 2 and 3 or more.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna, this one's kind of the theory, the foundation of what these lists are, so that when you encounter them, understand them. But then I want to actually talk about how we can, use them to actually do something useful. And next, we're going to talk about email using allow list specifically to prevent unwanted email. And then after that, talk about block lists. I want to do one of each um, to add security against actually websites. Because I know too, we've had at least one listener who's asked a question about that. We haven't actually officially announced that, but I figure we might reference that there because I think this
Right.
could be. There's a lot of solutions to that problem, but the one I'm going to be talking about at least is an answer to that.
Right.
And it's a question I've gotten asked a lot over the years. How do I block, pornography? Like especially if I'm with kids, how do I block pornography out of my home completely?
Right. Right.
So, okay.
Look forward to that one because we have had that question posed to us. So
Yep. Okay.
awesome.
So,
So have we reached that point in time?
yep, I think so. I'm ready. If you
All
are.
right. What's our call to action, buddy?
Yeah, so this one was a little bit tricky, but really, I just want to think about. I want you to, think about applications for these tools.
Yeah.
Are they in effect somewhere in your life right now? That would be an interesting thing to look at. Think about just so examine. Yeah. Anyway, and then are there places that you'd like to start using them?
Right.
And that's all. Just kind of be preparing for the future, where then we'll do more active action. But for now, just be thinking about it, be preparing for that. And as
Awesome.
always, love to hear your thoughts on the forum.
Right. Let us
So
know where you think they apply to you, even.
yeah,
So, awesome. Well, that's our show.
Yep.
That was a
Ready.
good one. I liked it. Part 1. I'm going to hold you to it. Part 1. 3-part series.
Sounds good. We can always do more later. We'll definitely do our best to keep it in, 3 for this phase.
Awesome. All right. There you have it. Okay. That's our super simple show today. If you're not a member of the IHP Academy already, please come join us for free. Stop searching the whole internet for answers and never knowing who to trust. Ask us instead. We made it super simple to find us, and it only takes 2 minutes to sign up. Just visit helpmegetsafe.com. Enter your name and your email. You're in. You can also find the link in our show notes. Thank you for joining us, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.